Hello and welcome to Unpreachy, a podcast of homilies and reflections from St. John Chrysostom Parish. Today, Father Ed Hallinan reflects on Mark chapter 12, verses 38 to 44, the Gospel reading for Sunday, November 10th, 2024.
Again, welcome everyone. Today's Gospel, sometimes people interpret it in the wrong way. There is a tendency to say, God, Jesus is highlighting this poor woman because she's given everything that she has. And those that are wealthier have given from their surplus, but not from their want. We should be like the widow. What Jesus does in today's gospel is something that everyone else misses. You can picture the people at the temple. You can picture them walking up in front of everyone and dropping their collection in, feeling pretty good about themselves. Wonder how much he or she put in. Do we put in the same amount as they put in? And then they don't notice the bent over widow that goes up, and her contribution is so small, you don't even hear it when it hits the bottom. And she just moves on. Jesus is passing judgment on everyone else in that temple for not seeing the widow, for not responding to the widow. In our society today, we are familiar with our Social Security payment. We are familiar with food stamps. We are familiar with various safety nets that we have to try to catch people that might fall through cracks. Back at Jesus' time, they didn't have those safety nets. And so this widow that is at the temple because she loves her God, this widow who's at the temple because she's placed her entire life with God, God is angry for all the people that didn't take notice of the widow. They were so caught up in themselves that they were blinded to the widow that was in need of their assistance. One of the reasons that I enjoy so much being pastor at St. John Chrysostom is because all of you notice the widow. All of you notice the widow. And you may say, how do you know we notice the widow? Maybe we're sometimes like the other people and we're so caught up with our busyness and everything that we don't see this poor widow. I see how you respond 12 months a year to the many widows and children throughout our area. In particular, in Chester, you as a community notice that other people need our assistance. And so as you're walking into church, you're dropping off non-perishable food. As you come into the church in January, we have our coat drive. You're bringing coats and sweatshirts into the church. Next Advent, which is just a few weeks away, leading into Christmas, You notice all the things that we're doing in the parish bulletin for folks within our own parish and folks outside our parish. And you contribute in a variety of ways. We notice. We notice those with physical handicaps, and how can we make them and their families feel welcome here at church? We notice little children that their parents go through sacrifices to bring them to church. We notice members of the LGBTQ community that feel ostracized from communities. We notice and welcome. Church, let us pray that, like Jesus, we continue to notice. And after we notice, that we respond with compassionate generosity to try to level the playing field to the best of our ability. Jesus loved that widow for placing herself totally in the hands of God. But Jesus was disappointed with all the other ones in that community that didn't recognize her, that didn't respond to her with generous compassion. God bless you.
Unpreachy is a production of St. John Chrysostom Parish in Wallingford, Pennsylvania. Visit us at sjcparish.org. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. This podcast was produced by Brendan Lorden with music by Skytoes on Upbeat. Thanks for listening. Be well.